Are you a gorilla? You talking to me? No, they can't ask me that. Hi, Pig is a Gaijin, Jamaican YouTuber. Welcome back to my channel, Wagwan people. Alright guys, so for today's video it's going to be a little bit different. We're reacting to the craziest questions ALTs of color in Japan get asked, and it was done by Gaijin Pot on their blog post, and it was shared on Facebook a couple times. I saw it and I said, hey, let me just react to it. I actually recorded a 17-minute long video with in-depth analysis, but who's here for that? The article will be linked down below for your perusal, so let's get into the video quickly. Alright, basically there are 6 questions. The first one says, do you taste like chocolate? No. They ask if you get burned in the sun because your skin is dark. They ask a lot of weird questions. I don't mind that. Kids have actually licked my skin, bitten me, and then say mazui, meaning it tastes bad. But I didn't ask you to eat me. Alright, you know, that little bit of sweat coming out of my skin, the urea and stuff from sweat. Yeah, that's what you're tasting right now. So no, it's not okay to eat black people, kids. Alright. Also, they have asked me why my skin is black and my palms are white, which I guess is an understandable question because their skin is whatever the color is I'm going to call it, and it matches the same. So I asked them, my way of dealing with it is asking them, so why is your skin like this? And they said, oh, because I'm Japanese. And my answer is because I'm foreign. I guess a simple way of explaining it, because to tell them about melanin and the scientific, I don't know, they're not really into that sort of thing. So yeah. That's why I nip it in the bud there. But kids have, there's one incident that happened to me with a junior high school student. I touched his book and then he looked at it and said kitanai, which means dirty, and started to wipe the book on the wall and on the carpet because my skin was dirty. Now you tell me. But you know, y'all go off on how Japanese kids are wonderful, cute, and you know, well behaved and all that. Because they say some things, bro. Alright, next, moving on from the skin and stuff like that. How long does it take to make your hair? Now, as you can see, I've done my hair in rope twists, and so I can't really wash my hair while it's in the style. So I usually spritz it with water and oil to moisturize and stuff and keep it relatively clean, and that sort of thing, tight down at night. Now, for Japanese kids, they don't see these styles, maybe except on TV or something way out that's not real for them. So if they see locks or afro or different hair from their regular straight style, it's, oh, did you perm it or whatever, because no hair is like, to them it's unfathomable. They can't understand why your hair is like that and not like the straight black thing or blonde, you know, because they obviously don't have problems with white people or whatever white people do. It's none of my business. Next, but they actually show genuine interest in my hairstyle, and they touch it, and sometimes they ask to touch it while already reaching to touch your hair, which kind of defeats the purpose of asking. And it's annoying, especially when you do your co-wash or your style your hair, you just moisturized and stuff, and you just want your hair to be nice or whatever. You don't know where their hands have been because their hands are all over the place, and they put it in your hair. And then they have the nerve and unmitigated gall to say to you, oh, sensei, kaminuki kusai, kaminuki kusai. Like, what? How dare you? Don't tell me my hair stink. This is coconut oil, my brother. This is, although castor oil has a distinct smell, but coconut, don't mess with my coconut. And shea butter, don't do it. Don't do it. Next, are you a gorilla? You're talking to me? No, they can't ask me that. They can't ask me that. So yeah, this happens, and I'm not going to talk more in depth about it. Basically, it's just wrong. I don't care if it's something that's funny to them in their culture or whatever, but they, you know, funny, stick a pin. I don't even use gorilla and monkey cards in my class, or chimpanzee. I avoid them, not to give them a reason to try and call me that. 1. 2, historically, black people or people of color being called monkey and gorilla was because the oppressor at the time used it to make us feel, black people, less than human, to degrade our intelligence, to belittle us. So there's a historical stigma attached to that word when used with black people. So that's all I ask. All people of color who are teaching in Japan, just kindly tell the kids it's rude to say that, 1, and just tell them it's, you know, if you go out into the world, because in Japan they're probably in a vacuum and insulated from everything else. If you go out in the world and you see a black person saying hi gorilla, my you might end up in an altercation because it's akin to the word nigger in America with a hard R. Yeah, it's rude. Don't do it. And a lot of person let it slide, but I'm like, no, I nip that stuff in the bud without prejudice. All right, good. Moving on from gorilla. To be honest, a lot of persons here actually. Never mind. But also, I know white teachers get called gorilla as well, but they don't have that historical attachment to the word because of, right, because they never oppressed.
I said what I said.
So I laugh when, Caucasian teachers say, oh my God, I don't understand. There's Japanese people are so xenophobic here. I understand now what black people go through. No, you don't. No, you don't.
The impudence, the audacity, the unmitigated gall.
Next. Are you good at basketball? Now, it is understood around the world that black people tend to be more athletic, often to our own downfall because then we are chosen for our athletic prowess as opposed to our actual intelligence, which we do possess at a high acumen, especially persons from the Caribbean. Big up Jamaica, right? So we need to just get rid of the stereotype. A lot of these things obviously are perpetuated by the media here in Japan and how they look at black people and how they feed off of the stereotypes from the Americans and the US because Japan wants to be America so bad. Right. And so based on rap videos and YouTube stuff and just feed into those stereotypes. But it's true though, we are pretty athletic, we're pretty good dancers, we're just naturally rhythmic and stuff, right, that's something. But I actually can play sports. I'm not good at basketball though. Soccer, table tennis, volleyball, yeah. Alright, moving on. Next! Are you from the ghetto? Well, the article goes to say that the general perception of black people are there from the middle to lower income in whatever bracket they are in the United States because of the hip hop and all the people that see in the references and stuff. But everywhere in the world has low income housing or middle to lower income. Every country in the world has ghettos. So I don't know. Japan is no different. There are places in Japan that persons won't go to because of the reputation of the area or because it's not as safe as other places. But not my business. I'm quite fine here. No, I don't feel sick. Right. Let's move on from there. Is English your first language? So apparently the only person that speak English are Americans or Australians or Canadians or persons from the UK, and obviously persons who speak English are also white because that's what it is. In the textbooks mostly, or even in the conversations with the material I have for my Eikaiwa, there are hardly any persons of color represented. And when they represent the person of color, and they're usually from Africa, they have on the, let's say, traditional African robes, or they look alright, so I have clothes that make them look uncivilized. And that's not the case because there's a populace that obviously has built up alright, before I get all emotional about this, we in the West are very we're to blame for this because in the images that persons show of Africa are always persons on the continent of Africa are persons suffering and persons that don't have resources. But there are many states and many cities in Africa that are flourishing, that have running water, internet, Wi-Fi, established economies and that sort of thing. But the only thing that we see or we are shown are the impoverished states or persons that are suffering because of hunger. When technically, people are always taken from Africa. But that's one other video. We're not going to get into that today. And here's the thing. English is, because of colonialism and the fact that England basically tried to conquer the entire world, many countries speak English but in different accents. So you might have a man that sings like this that speaks English, and a man may talk like this and he also can speak English in his Jamaican accent while talking like this, naturally, like me. But some persons aren't able to understand this English, but they want this, yo man, what up dog? Like, yo, straight up, let's go do this. Like this American stuff, like only Americans speak English. But that's the English that they want in the schools here in Japan, the American English. However, Let's not even get into that, to be honest. All right, so those were the 6 questions based on the article of the craziest questions craziest questions that ALTs or teachers of color in Japan get asked by kids. But I have some questions that I can't even say on the YouTube channel because I'm gonna get in trouble. And a person gonna say you can't talk about that. But I have been asked what's masturbation. I have been asked how big is your member? Is it African size? How many times do I have sex? I have been asked, not crazy though, but personal questions that I wouldn't trust me, I mean, they're out here wilding. Just saying to persons that Japanese kids are like kids around the world, anywhere around the world. You have some that are good, you have some that are bad, and you have some that are demons. But that's for another topic. All right, so see you in the next video. Tell me, if you're a teacher in Japan, what questions do you get asked? And leave it in the comments down below. Please share the video because I'm sure some of you have experienced these questions. All right, peace out. Because the guys in Jamaican YouTuber. What are we, the people them not understand anything me I say? Anywho, let me sip my chair.